Okay, so welcome again. This is a live tune-up, energy tune-up for January, and we are going to have a conversation about intuition, how to follow your inner guidance. So I don't know if you're following me already or if you're new to me. I'm Matilda Lerchi. I'm a healer and energy intuitive life coach. So I assist people in awakening to their highest potential, really following their inner guidance and live a life of great joy. And I pulled some cards in the beginning of the month, so I often do that. That's some of the toys I love to play with are cards and crystals and things like that. I know a lot of energy intuitive or energy sensitive people, they really love to play with those things because we can read energies from them. Everyone can really read energies from them. So it's so fun to play with. It's a way of like expanding your intuition and your own inner guidance. So we can talk about that later as well. What I want to share was, first of all, how are you all doing? I feel that January has come with really a very new energy, a very open energy, and at the same time, very focused. It's like we have been prepared. We are being prepared for our next chapter, you can say, and it can feel very different to the old. So we used to be very focused on certain things or what you needed to do in order to stay safe and secure. And this new chapter is just so open in the sense of our desires are right there in front of us, ready to be lived fully, but we need to be prepared in order to receive them. We need to prepare ourselves for opening up to those levels of pleasure and living with meaning. So we might think sometimes, oh, I want this, I can easily have this, or whatever it is in your life. And then if it really came into your experience, you might not even see it as an opportunity because there would be this resistance within you. I can say for myself, I still feel it. Sometimes I have something presented and I'm like, oh, it's not necessary, is it? And then it's like, well, why not just receiving it? Then the mind starts to come up with all these reasons why it would be unpractical or undesired or difficult to receive it, instead of just allowing ourselves to receive it and take it from there. So in the beginning of the month, I pulled a card for this group, I would say all who are following me or tuning into me. For January, and that was Pachamama. So these are goddess cards, archangel cards that I've created myself. Actually, I've channeled them down so on paper. So Pachamama has an energy of surrender into nature's energy, and the pace of Mother Nature is very much attuned to seasons, seasonality. And when we're tuning in with her energies, we are allowing our mind to just let go of the ideas about like time frames, time schedules, the limitation of time. We allow ourselves to open up to knowing that there's an infinite amount of time, that time is not really existing, and we can really flow with the seasons. We can flow with what is. We can become present in the moment. And what she also adds is what not many knows is that when you allow yourself to fully be in that state, it's like you're surpassing the laws that we have, man-made laws that we have created. They're existing in a certain vibrational field. And when we're in that energy field or in that dimension, we will experience them as if they're real, and we will align with them. We will experience, they will come into our, you can say, our creation. They will be orchestrated for us to meet them because that is what we believe in. And she say, and what is also my own experience, when we ground ourselves into the core of the inner earth, it's also like the root chakra, we allow to really align with the highest frequencies and the sacral, receiving the pleasure of being a human being in the highest vibration. So I will go a bit more into that. So when we allow ourselves to do that, we can live in the highest streams of energy, and it's like we're surpassing the the laws that a man made, the created laws, because someone will maybe refer to them as the matrix, and we can feel that we need to fight them. I know some have the urge to just work against them, but what she's saying is, and what is my own experience, is that when we ground our higher energies and allowing it to fill up our bodies, we're surpassing those laws. And it might be difficult for the mind to understand this, but it is a truth that we can experience, and we need to be bold and brave and have patience in order to experience that. That is also her guidance for this month, that we allow ourselves the boldness and the braveness that is inherent in the human being of creating a life here on earth that we desire. So we are all here together, and we can truly create the life that we desire, but from a place of feeling empowered, from a place of boldness, like saying, so there's no one except me who has the power over me or within me, except those I allow to take the power away from me. And sometimes we can be deeply entangled in the illusion, and that is why we experience. And it's important here to come in to understand that all the judgment, it vanishes when we enter that dimension. So I know for many it can be triggering, and it would probably also have been for myself to say that, oh, you hold the power, when I have felt greatly traumatized in experiences that I felt like, oh, I definitely didn't have the power here. But we need to shift the perspective a little in those circumstances, or not to say a lot, to see our creational, you can say creator self as the whole thing. So really understand that the soul has no judgment over experiences and is greatly excited about this life and adventure, no matter however it looks. So there is no judgment from the soul. If you come here and place a victim your whole life, that can be a really exciting story for the soul to experience. And we have all been all things. So when we are in this level of judging our own experience, say that was wrong, I didn't want that experience, or I was playing the victim, that was awful, or I was playing the villain, even more awful, then we are playing in these judgments, and we are not allowing for the soul's perspective and Mother Nature's Pachamama's perspective to come in, that all is well, all is divine orchestration. Things decompose, things grow, and then they're decomposed, and then they're creating the foundation for new life. It's the nutrition for new life. And see those cycles as perfect and good. And we cannot blame a plant for example, taking over the whole space. We can just see that is what is. And we can shift it by shifting the energies within and create a different experience. So I hope that makes sense to all of you. I feel it really clearly in my body what it is that she is communicating to us in this month. So you might not feel ready for being decomposed yet, and you might want to get the maximum out of your life adventure, or for some, just have a life adventure that feels like a life adventure, that feels fun, that feels joyful, or feel peaceful or relaxing. If you feel that you have to be on your toes the whole time, that you have to really be defensive in order to be here, then really come into the space where you create from the level of peace. So she is also making us aware that our vibration is what we experience. So we can think sometimes that, oh no, if I'm in a low vibration, I will attract a lot of low vibe things. And it is to a certain degree true, but it is more that you in this moment is creating a low vibrational experience. So it will feel like those potentials are the ones that are present. So if you feel that you're a victim that has to defend yourself all the time, when someone's saying something that might have nothing to do with you, or have nothing to do with your victim story, you will still hear it. You will hear it, and it will reinforce your experience of being that one who has to defend yourself all the time. So letting that go and just come into feeling that I can create my own story. I can allow with Mother Nature's heartbeat, and that is what she's saying. Just allow yourself to feel that you're nature and that you're beautiful. And I want to talk a bit about something in relation to that. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Because we're in a time where it can really benefit to ground yourself into, you can say, the lower chakras, sacral and root chakra. And what we feel in these parts of our body can be can bring us to a state of unease. So we can feel like if we are in this part of the body, we need to be focused on the word that comes up is like an animalistic. Like I've heard that before, like we're not animals, humans are not animals, or feel that we need to distinguish ourselves or separate ourselves, and then also hear that we are animals. I have a background as a biology and seeing ourselves as mammals, but understanding that what we have entangled with when entering this part of the body is shame and guilt and blame, which is not present in a you can say in the physical body of an animal as such. It's not that they're playing out these victim stories or the suppressor in the way that we are experienced when entering these parts of our body with our higher consciousness or with our consciousness. So we can feel that we are not really allowed to be in this part of the body with a higher wisdom, higher consciousness, or we can feel that it's unpleasant to be in this part of the body. We can feel it belongs to someone else when we are present here. We can feel that there is a certain agenda for these parts of our body. For example, sexuality, reproduction, that there is this or digestion, or that it is a part of that system. And we can feel that if we're present in this part of the body, we need to be like in that mindset or aligned with that, with our thoughts, and understanding that these parts of our body are highly important for our creation, for creating our highest life adventure, not because we need to ground our energy in there and then be sexual all the time. Because I hear that too, like then that is what's present there, that is the function of it, have a natural balanced sexuality, but understanding that when we are in this part of the body, we are just allowing our presence in this moment. So that is basically it, and it's very simple. It's actually very simple. It's like it's our seat, it's where we sit in this experience. So if we don't allow ourselves to sit and be peacefully observing what is, we're jumping out of the driver's seat, you can say, we're jumping out of our seat, and we can feel like we're chased around by an agenda. And I know for some, it can be a journey to come back into those parts of the body. It definitely was for me as well, because there's a lot of old vibration, old paradigm, old ancestral beliefs in this part of the body. But when we allow ourselves to come into this part of the body, we come to understand that there is nothing unwanted in this part of the body. And there are no agendas in this part of the body except higher life creation when we allow that to ground in. Just going to pause there because I'm talking a lot. So understanding that is a really, really important part of the body in this time to ground our energy into. And that is also what she wants to talk about, Pachamama, because one of the things she says, be bold, be brave, but be aligned with your intuition. And the boldness come into this by allowing yourself to follow your intuition, because we can feel our intuition, and then we can feel that we chased around by these agendas of others, and then we jump out from that place where we can really feel and hear the intuition. So being brave in the sense of just allowing ourselves to stay there and say, okay, I'm ready to walk through this experience and see what happens if I just stay here. What will happen? And it can take a time to shift into that feeling that you can feel safe and held in this experience. When doing so, it is often needed the connection with guides or tribe, some like-minded souls who can see you and support you in your, you can say, on your path in what you want to create in your focus, and not take you out of this by saying, oh, do you really know what you're doing? Or can you even trust that intuition? Or is that a good idea? what you're doing right now? How about just conforming to the rules or whatever it is? And when I talk about laws and rules, we are really talking about limiting beliefs. And we are also talking about the rules that we have created, man-made rules. And you can say it doesn't make sense to break a lot of them, because a lot of them we have made to keep a healthy environment. But there are some that are not aligned with that are more of like control thing, holding us small, and we have created them to hold ourselves small. It's like we are one. So it's not about blaming others or working against their rules. It's understanding that we are the rules, we are one. So so really feeling that these rules are present within yourself. It's yourself living up to those standards or rules. So it is quite exciting to look into it in that way and understand that there is nothing outside of you. It's all placed within you. And when you allow yourself to go within that place and dissolve it from in there, which is also our guidance for this month, you can experience a different level of reality. And for some, this is too far away from your reality right now or their reality right now, and it's perfectly fine, because we need to walk this in steps. It's not just one jump into a different dimension. It is for some, and they can follow along, but often they will have this part of the body that needs to come with them. Like the human body is the densest part of us, and it needs some time to adjust. And that is also why she's talking about the root chakra in this time, and the sacral. The sacral is a bit higher vibe. At the root is holding some of the really dense beliefs about survival in this human experience, what you need to do in order to be safe, and that can really hold us really stuck in this dimension where it's all about feeling safe. So coming through that experience and coming out on the other side and allowing ourselves to experience a reality where it's not about keeping ourselves safe, it's about loving and enjoying the life here. We can think some of the rules that we created, they are to, really to keep us safe, but from a place of judgment and guilt and blame. And we think, okay, if we let that go, I mean, the control of other people too, then we will have nothing to keep us in alignment with the highest good or with love or caring for each other. But it's not true. We have love and we have compassion, but we need to allow it within ourselves first. The rising of vibration and consciousness in order to live that experience. And there's really no judgment if we're not living that experience. We're also going to go through a meditation today to just enhance your feeling of that higher vibe and your intuition. So I hear some people say they have their intuition, and then they also, but there's nothing wrong in using your logical sense or your mind when making decisions, and saying it in a way like they're in opposition to one another. So I can, and it's not wrong to have that experience. It's just an experience. It's just to say that my experience is different. Mine is that they're not in opposition to one another. They can be the same. It's not like, oh, I have this intuition out here that is just way out of reality, and then I have my logical sense that can bring common sense to my life, and it's not like that at all. I feel that they're like merging those two, but what I feel the logical mind can do is to bring us back to the past, and that is actually not what we want often. Sometimes it is, if we want to take this in smaller steps, we want to detangle from the idea of the intuition, or what was it? What is it? So take it apart and understand what it really is. But most often we want to allow ourselves to follow our intuition and feel when it is guiding us elsewhere. That is what can really makes us feel safe. And it's not about like having the intuition guiding you like two completely different systems, but having them as guiding force in your life, and understand that the mind is not very efficient in seeing the future, because it will project a future similar to the past. And if that's what you want, that's perfect, of course, or similar to other people's experience, then that is perfect. But it can be like taking it in smaller steps to use the mind also. And of course, you need to have a like continuous conversation with your intuition. You need to know if it's suddenly guiding you in another direction. So it's more about trusting your intuition and creating from a level of trust, because if we're creating from lack of trust, that might also show up as our experience, and we will continue to have that repeated. So some will say, my intuition brought me here, that was an awful place. But if we're not still continuing to tune in with our intuition, we will not know what the meaning of guiding you there is. The intuition is not judgmental, so it will sometimes guide you to place, and that is what scares people, where you just dismantling all these limiting beliefs about yourself, what you thought you needed in order to be worthy, what you thought you needed in order to be right. And that can really confuse our human beings sometimes, because we think like, oh, but that's not what success is looking like. It's over here, success. And it's like, yeah, but that's your judgment, and you need to let go of that judgment in order to create your highest good. So your next step will be aligned with your innate, you can say your true nature of understanding success. And success is feeling greatly joyful and peaceful and pleasant and feeling pleasant. So there is this truth in that, but we have created the experience where we allow ourselves to feel successful and pleasant and at peace. And this is like ruling all the other amazing experiences out, where we could also feel pleasant and peaceful. So that is what I want to share about that. And was a lot, but I hope you can follow along with this. This is what Pachamama is sharing for January. She's an amazing goddess. She's the goddess associated with the Mother Nature, and with nature as such, and following cycles and nature rhythms. So I love her concept of living aligned with the Mother Nature's heartbeat. And it has nothing to do with living in a certain way that we have constructed in our mind about how a life should look. If you're sustainable in that way, she says it's about following the rhythm within, and understand that your rhythms within are similar to Mother Nature's, because we are one organism. And understand from that place you will be guided. So it's not up in your mind necessarily. You will know what your life aligned to Mother Nature's heartbeat is. It's within. You can find that template or blueprint for that life. Let us just do a brief meditation to help you come more in with your intuition. And I will also say, allowing yourself to follow your intuition, practice your clairvoyant abilities. I'm so excited, because on the Divine Child Healers program, we are now entering a phase where I will train the students to really come in and connect with their clairsentient and clairvoyant ability in a very deep way. So they are already clairsentient and clairvoyant, all of them. This is just how it happened to be in this course. It's not always like that, but they're really great healers, all of them. But we can really dive into a very deep level of being specific when we're going into this, and I'm going to train them into opening those tools, because we have them available within us. It's just a matter of opening to them and remembering how to use them. It's like our inner technology, as the Acturians that I work with also, they call it inner technology. We have a lot of inner technology. Emotions are inner technology. And it's about opening to those tools that we have with us. And I will also have people helping me in this time to open more up to my voice. So that is super exciting. I enrolled on a course for the first time in several years, where I will be trained to use my voice in a more joyful way. And I feel greatly joyful about it already. But when you're stepping up and stepping out more, there can be this feeling of contraction in one way or another, or just the feeling that there is more. And then there can be other people in your creation that has the keys for that experience. And then it's just about seeking them and allowing them to assist you into a greater level of experience. So I wanted to share that too, that we're not alone in this experience. And if you think you have to be born with this gifts greatly open, or there are no one to help you deeper with this, it's just about you having to have it all figure out or already. It's not about that. I had people helping me opening to my clairsentient and clairvoyant abilities. I was sensitive, but the way of using my gift, I needed training, or I had training. I didn't need it in the sense, but I had training, which helped me to open it in a very specific, precise, and I would also say confident way. So I could feel confident that what I was feeling and seeing and sensing, that it was true, it was really how it was, and really training me into allowing myself to become much more, I would say, aligned with my tool, my creative possibilities. So that is always what we can do. If you feel drawn to someone, then just seek their advice, seek their guidance, and allow them to help you into greater levels of experience. Okay, so let's go into the meditation. If you just close your eyes and feel your heart space. So a lot of the intuition is felt through the heart most easily. And just feel your heart space. Seeing being filled up with light, green light today. And feel your whole body. Feel that you're here for the experience of being you, being joy. Feel that you can be you in this experience. And it's all here for you. It's all within you. And you need to feel the peace and calm to really sense that within you, sense the place in you where this experience is being held, and choose that and say that, yes, I want that vibrational experience. That is what I desire. That we are not fixed into these limiting beliefs, that we can create something else, and our ancestors, that if we have strong limiting beliefs, that they can be released. Not by focusing a lot of them, but focusing on what is the truth, what is the desire. Sometimes we can feel held back because we feel that we're circling around the same limiting belief. It's like it's drawing our attention. We're trying to avoid it by staring at it constantly, but it's really drawing it in. Drawing the feeling of being held back in, but just let that go. Feel you can expand and see other things. You can see the place in you where you're excited, where you're loved, where you're free. I'm free to be me. I'm free to feel my intuition, to feel my guidance, and to follow it. And then coming down into the root just for a moment, and understand that down here is a sense of peace that allows us to continuously moving towards our heart's desires. And if we feel afraid and jump out of this place in our body, it's difficult for our body to move us towards those desires. And not meant in a physical sense that we will move our bodies towards it. Sometimes it's that, but it's drawing it in. It's holding the vibration consistent within our body of our desires. Now feel your solar plexus. Maybe you want to put your hands on your solar plexus. Take a deep breath. Yes, you're here to be you. And you could say, I'm here to be me. I'm here to be fully who I am. Love is your very essence. And you can ground yourself into the space. Love is your very essence, and you can ground yourself beyond the fear, doubt, and worry into this beautiful body that you are equipped with in this lifetime. And yes, you have had many experiences, many beings playing many roles. Right now, you're you. in this beautiful divine vessel that we all love and care for so much. So come back to the room and enjoy your breath. This is what's keeping you alive. So enjoy every breath of yours. Okay. So this is all for me today. I'm excited to see if it was really broadcasted to Facebook. I got a bit of different messages from Facebook, but we'll see. Otherwise, I will upload it later. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye for now.